Hi guys, this is Bilal Khan and you are watching Simplified Coding. So I have the project opened that we created in our MVVM tutorial series, and I did something wrong in that series and I used some anti-patterns in the project to make the thing simpler. But we should not use anti-patterns. So in these videos, I am going to fix all my errors that I did in this MVVM project. So the first thing that we will correct is our login and sign up activity that is inside our auth package. So what we will do is first let's see what is the first activity as I forget. So the main activity is our login activity. So first we will fix the login activity. So come inside login activity. But before making the code changes, first we need to update our libraries. So we will open the build.gradle file and I will use Alt Enter to update every library. But the main thing that we need to update is our view model. It is very important. And other things you can update if you want, but I am updating everything. Coroutines as well. We also need to update coroutines. It is also very important for this thing. Then we will update this. It is important. Material design is not important, but I am updating everything here. And I will also update the room and the navigation architecture. So just press Alt Enter and update everything. And we will update the preference as well. So everything is updated in our dependencies. Now sync your project and wait for the Gradle to finish. Meanwhile, let's open our activity login.xml. So this is our UI, and this time we will do the things differently. I will also tell you the mistakes that I did. So first open the design, that is our login activity. And what I did is I used the view model here directly. We can do it, but I will not use it here. So I will remove this data tag because I don't need it in the login activity. And as we remove the data section, we also need to remove everything that we used from that data section. So what I'll do is I'll remove these things because we are using a two-way binding here, but I will remove these things for now. So let's delete everything, and everything is deleted. Now what I will do is I will reformat it. Okay, that's all. Now go back to your view model. So we have auth view model here. So what I will do is I will delete everything from here, and we will also remove this on login button click and on login and on sign up. Basically we will remove everything. So let's remove everything from this auth view model. And now we are using this repository, that is user repository, to make the login. So what I will do is I will call the function user login in our view model. And to do this, I will create a suspending function here. So let's create a suspend fun, and we will make the function user login that accepts email and password. So we have suspend fun user login. It will accept email of type string and password of type string, and it will return us the result. So we will call this user sign up function from our user repository class. So we will simply write repository dot user sign up, and we will pass email and password, and our user login function is ready. So I use the sign up function, but I am creating login. So I will call user login here. Sorry for the mistake, and everything is fine for now. So we have the auth view model. I will delete everything, and inside the auth view model we are performing the login using this user login function. Now we will use it inside our login activity. So open login activity. We are inside login activity and everything is nice here, but this view model providers is deprecated, so we will fix it as well. So for now we have the binding, that is our activity login binding, and we have our view model. So first let's fix the view model. So what I will do here is I will delete this off and I will change the view model providers to view model provider, and now we need to import this class. Now the owner is the current activity and we also have the factory and we are getting the auth view model. So that's fine. Now we do not need to set the view model in our binding and we do not need this auth listener as well. So I will delete it. Now I will tell you the problem. The problem here was I was passing current activity instance to our view model. That should not happen. We should never pass or store activity references in our view model. That we should never do, and that was the anti pattern that I did in this project. So I am fixing that. Okay, so we will remove it. Now we are not passing the current activity reference to our view model, so the anti pattern that we used is fixed now, but it will not work because we deleted almost everything. So this seems okay for now, but we need to perform the user login, and that we will do inside this on create only. So we need to attach a click listener to our button. So we have binding dot, and I guess I didn't put any ID to my button because I was not using that. So I will put ID to the sign in button. So let's give it an ID. It is button sign in. We also need IDs to edit texts. So we will write ID edit text email and ID edit text password. We also need to put an ID to this forget password. So we will write ID text view forget password like this. And we also need this one. So we will put the ID text view sign up to go to the sign up screen. So everything is nice here. Now come back to login activity, and now we will get the reference from this binding. Now using this binding method is better because we won't get some resource not found or null pointer exceptions when we don't have the views here. An alternative to this binding is view binding. So you can use view binding that generates the classes for your layout files automatically. So you do not need to use this layout format to generate view bindings for your layout classes, but that I am not using in this project. I will tell you about that thing, but for now this binding is okay. We are okay with it, so we will use it here. So we will write binding dot button sign in dot set on click listener like this, and here we can call our function to make the user login. So we will call a function like this. Now we have private void. Sorry, I am writing Java. I actually forgot what I'm writing because I sometimes use Java as well. So we will write private fun login user like this. Now we will get the input from the edit text. So we will get val email equals to binding dot, and I guess I don't have the binding as the class instance. So I will define private lead init var binding as activity login binding. And now I can get the binding here like this, binding equals to. Now we can use the binding in this function. So we have binding dot edit text email dot text dot toString dot trim like this, and val password equals to binding edit text password dot text dot toString dot trim. Now you can add validations if you want. I am not adding validations for now. So here you can add validations, but for now I will just perform the login assuming the inputs are okay. So what we will do, we need to call our function, that is user login, inside this auth view model class, that is our view model. Again, I need to define the view model here. View model of type view model, actually auth view model, like this. Now we will write view model equals to view model provider, then auth view model. We are getting our view model here. Now what we will do, we will call the login function from our view model. So we have view model dot user login, and we need to pass email and password, like this. Now this user login function is a suspending function, and we need a coroutine scope to call it. So here we can directly write life cycle scope, that is already defined for activities and fragments. For fragment, you need to write view life cycle and the life cycle scope, but inside an activity we can directly use life cycle scope, like this. And from this life cycle scope we will launch the launch function. Now inside the launch we can call our suspending functions. Now here you can display a view model, and one thing I forget is to remove this auth listener. We are not using interfaces for now. So that's all. Now we also need to remove these things. So remove these for now, and we have called our user login function that is performing the login. Now we will get the login response here, like this. And now from the login response we can check if the login was successful or not. So if we have login response dot is successful, actually I forget what I was using in the previous project, so let me check. Now there is a great way to see your old codes. What you can do is you can right click on your file and go to local history, and it will show you the previous history of your file. So here what we were doing in our on login click function, so what I was doing was, first we were getting the response. So basically we can copy this thing. Okay, so let's copy it. Actually copy everything that we written inside our view model scope dot launch. So let's copy it and we will paste it here. So let's paste it here. So we are getting the response from our view model by performing the login. We don't need it. Now we are checking if the auth response contains the user. So if the user in the response is not null, we will consider it as a success, and we will also save user in our local database. So we need to call the save user function from our repository. So what we will do here is we will create one more function, that is suspend fun save user, or we can name it saved logged in user, like this. And this function will simply save the user using the function that we already have as save user, and we need to pass a user. So we will write user here, like this, and we will save the user to our local database. Now come back to login activity, and here we will use view model to save the user, like this, and we don't need to do anything else, and we do not need these things. Now we can simplify the error handling that I will do in the coming videos, but for now let's leave it like this because it is very complicated every time writing try catch. So we will simplify this thing as well, but for now let's use it as it is. So we are using save user from view model. That is not working because we have save logged in user. So we have save logged in user and everything is fine, I guess. Let's print for now, and we do not need to do anything else. Actually, I think we were displaying some error message inside our exceptions. So let's check what we were doing. So again, I'll go to local history. So if the user is not available, we are calling on failure as well to handle the failure case. So what I will do here is, instead of this let, I will use if auth response dot user is not equals to null. That means we have a success. So do it like this and remove this thing. Now here we can pass auth response dot user. Now in the else situation, we will display the error. So what we'll do here is we will write binding dot root dot snack bar, and we will pass the message that we want to display. I guess we have a message inside our response, so we will pass the message like this. So we have everything nice for now. So let's see if it is working or not, and I guess it won't work because we also have this sign up activity and we have some errors, as you can see. So we will fix it as well. The first thing is this one, and everything else is fine here. We will fix it later because in this video I am supposed to fix the login activity only. So I did it, and we also need to do some changes inside sign up activity because it won't work. And the reason is we removed the functions from view model, those we are using here. So we will delete this, and we will delete everything that we deleted in the login activity like this. So delete, delete, delete. We have one more, and this one as well. So we deleted everything. Now it should work. So let's try running and see it's working or not. Now we have some issues, and it is, I don't know what it is. Let's check. So yeah, we forget to delete this line. We don't have any view model inside our binding now. So we need to delete it as well. Now it should work. So let's run it again. This time it is working, so let's see if it works or not. So I guess this thing is okay. Now let's try login in, but actually I don't have an account. So let's try if it's working or not. Let's put some wrong thing because our sign up screen is not ready, and I don't have an account because I deleted the database, so it will not work, I guess. So let's try putting 56. Now I will hit on sign in. Oh, it's working. Yeah, so I have an account, I guess. So the login is fixed and it is working. We also have some codes. It is crashing. Why? But our main thing is correct. It's working for login. Let's check why the codes is crashing. So where is our application? This is MVVM sample. So let's open it and see why the code screen is crashing. It was crashing only in first run, but still it's not working. So we will fix it in the coming video. So for now we fixed the login activity, and now we are not passing the activity reference to our view model, and everything is separated. So it is the correct way of doing it, I guess. In case you still have any confusion or question, you can leave your comments below. And you can get the source code of the project. The link is given in the description of this video. And finally, if you like the video, please hit on that like button, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your friends. So thanks for watching everyone. This is Bilal Khan now signing off.